I know you've heard about bias being in AI systems, especially in language models like Claude or ChatGPT, which so many of you are using day in and day out. Even art models like Canva's AI art generator or Midjourney. But what if I was to tell you that there's a huge chance that the majority of you don't even know what bias actually is, how to recognize it when it comes up unconsciously, or where it even comes from? Well, you made up. My name is Christian Ortiz. I'm a decolonial technologist and the developer of Justice AI. I'm going to explain to you how to identify biases in these systems and what I've done to correct them. Let's dive in. Years ago, I was given the opportunity to educate and introduce AI art to underprivileged students, which was fantastic for me because it was democratizing art for a lot of these kids who never had access to real art tools. Every single one of my students loved using AI art. Many of them loved it because they didn't have the ability to create art, but they certainly had the imagination. And now, because of these tools, they had a seat at the table. It wasn't until we started creating people that I started noticing some obvious problematic findings. I wanted to test it out before I said anything to my students, though, so I took my systems home to put it to the test, and what I found was quite telling. I typed in gangster, got a white man in a suit and a hat. Typed in thug, got black people. Thug again, more black people. Thug, black people. Gangster, white people. Again and again and again. I typed in terrorist to see what I would get. A Middle Eastern man with a turban. I typed in domestic terrorist to see if I would get a Proud Boy. And I got this mess. That's why I created Justice AI. Now, when you ask Jai to create you images of a thug, it won't do it because it doesn't want to perpetuate stereotypes. You can even ask it to create you a picture of a gangster, and it will ask you what kind of a gangster, so it doesn't perpetuate stereotypes. You want to create an image of a terrorist? It won't let you because it doesn't want to reinforce harmful stereotypes. Now, using Justice AI, if I want an image of a black woman CEO, that's exactly what I get. If I want an image of a black man CEO, you better believe it. How about a Latino CEO? Or perhaps an androgynous CEO? Justice AI is developed through my DIA framework and culturally competent data sets that meet the needs of everyone, no matter where they are around the world. Now, that was just the art portion. What happens with our language models like Claude and ChatGPT? There's bias all within these systems. I asked Claude if Donald Trump is a racist. The answer? This is a complex and politically sensitive question. It also gives you a whole bunch of nonsense that doesn't really sit well with me. So I took this response and I wanted to put it into Justice AI to analyze and identify the bias within it. So that's what I did. Before running my bias audit, I asked Justice AI if it thought Donald Trump was a racist. The answer? Yes. Not only was it a yes, it gave every reason as to why it's a yes. Then I entered what Claude said, and I asked it to identify any harmful bias within this response from Claude, and to decolonize it. Within seconds, Justice AI identifies Claude's bias and takes a deep dive into how Claude demonstrates its bias in a multitude of problematic ways. This is unconscious bias in real time that most of you will miss. Now, I'm not trying to convince anybody of absolutely anything. The software sells itself, and that's no hubris. All I'm going to say is this: try it. If you don't like it, you can cancel at any time. If you already have a ChatGPT or ChatGPT Pro account where you're paying $20 a month, then all you have to do is go to justiceai.co, sign up for the Atlas Advocates program, and for $20 a month, you'll get an automatic link that will redirect you to Justice AI within your ChatGPT account, which means you don't lose your history, you don't lose the prior conversations that you've saved. We know how precious that data is, and we don't have access to it. It's completely private. We hope it brings you so much value as much as it's brought every single one of us here. Take care.